Welcome to Hypnosis Health Info. I'm Roger Moore. I've been writing and talking a lot about Jamie Oliver's food revolution, and I just expressed my heartfelt thanks to Jamie Oliver, to Ryan Seacrest, and everyone involved who's bringing to the national media attention, primetime television, what we're doing to ourselves in this country when it comes to the food that we eat, the processed foods, and perhaps even more importantly, what we're doing to our kids with the school lunch programs, and pointing out that childhood obesity is for the most part a very preventable disease, and it's something that we absolutely have to address. We're creating a nation of disease, and it is time for health care reform. And it's just something we got to take on and we got to make happen. And health care reform starts with each of us individually, changing how we eat, changing our exercise habits, so we start eating healthy, eating real food, and that we keep our bodies moving and active. That's really healthcare reform right there. And we do those simple things, changing how we eat, stepping up our exercise. We're going to see a dramatic change in the health and wellness in this country for the better. And I also want to say thank you to the folks of Huntington and their willingness to allow Jamie Oliver in and to make the national spotlight, and to acknowledge that, you know, Huntington is not the only city in America that's in trouble. Overall, we're across the country, we're pretty much in trouble, and my wife and I have certainly noticed over the years as we travel from Seattle and we'll go up to Vancouver, BC, and it's pretty easy to spot out the Americans, to point them out. You look at how people in Canada eat and how they live and move their bodies. They just, for the most part, don't have the obesity that here in the States that we have. And came across an article that was in a British newspaper that talks about Huntington, and it says, as well as the fattest city, Huntington is also America's unhealthiest city with the worst sleeping patterns and fewest teeth. Almost half the adults over 65 have lost all their teeth. That to me is just amazing. Huntington's children have a shorter life expectancy than their parents. The health complications of obesity are never ending. Heart disease, stroke, high blood pressure, diabetes, gum disease, and arthritis. Pediatrician Dr. James Bales, who has met Jamie and describes him as very genuine, frequently sees children of 4 and 5 who weigh twice what they should. Recent patients include a girl aged 11 who weighed over 308 pounds and was admitted with an obesity-induced heart attack, and a boy with late onset diabetes, so-called because it usually develops in the 50 to 60-year-olds. The boy was 8 years old and 5.5 stone overweight. If I recall correctly, there's 14 pounds to a stone. More than 10% of severely overweight kids in Huntington already have diabetes, and 80% will go on to develop it. They're at a greater risk of early heart disease, high blood pressure, arthritis, and bone and joint diseases due to wear and tear on their joints. To put it brutally, if you're diagnosed with diabetes at age 8, you're looking at a life expectancy of between 30 and 45. That's all. And problems with your eyesight, kidney failure, amputations, heart disease, and stroke. Even in death, obesity is a nightmare, and this was in the 4th episode last week, Friday night, on Jamie Oliver's Food Revolution. Not only have sales of double extra large coffins more than tripled in Huntington, but more funeral homes have had to bring in specialist lifting equipment to cope with huge bodies. We've had some pretty good sized ones lately, so now we have cranes and winches and body lifts to stop us wrecking our backs when we're dressing and embalming the bodies. But it's not dignified to winch someone out of their home, so we have to carry the bodies out. Sometimes it takes 4 of us and can be a struggle to squeeze through the doorways. The burial process isn't very dignified either. Because oversized coffins won't fit in hearses, they have to be transported in the back of a cargo van. Imagine that. Cremation isn't an option. With all the fat, the bodies burn hotter and longer, like human candles. They described it on TV. They talked about how the body starts consuming itself. Burials often require 2 grave spaces. Everything costs the family more. And then also the Woodlawn Cemetery in the Bronx recently increased its standard burial plot size to 4 feet wide from the 2 feet wide to accommodate wider burial vaults. And the cemetery's newest mausoleum has 4 crypts designed especially to hold oversized coffins. The Cremation Association of North America has begun providing special training to its members in the handling of obese bodies. And hearse manufacturers are pushing the limits of design to make their vehicles ever wider with bigger rear doors. Yeah, they showed in the episode 4 of the Food Revolution coffins that were 54 inches. That's double the standard width of a coffin. They were over 4 feet wide. And what they used to be special order, now more and more mortuaries are stocking these and having them around because there's just that increased demand for them. And again, this is all because of lifestyle choices that people are making. That for the most part, it's lifestyle choices. It's behaviors that we're voluntarily committing. We can change that. And one great way to change that, to change the food we eat, to create the desire to go exercise, is using hypnosis. And self-hypnosis is pretty easy to do. I teach a light switch self-hypnosis that teaches that you can use suggestions, give yourself suggestions, take yourself deeply relaxed, and bring yourself back up in as little as a minute. If you have the time and the luxury of going longer, great, go for it. But it's a tool that you can use pretty much anywhere, anytime. And if you just look up there in the orange bar here at Hypnosis Health Info, you'll see self-hypnosis. And there's written and oral and video instructions on how to do the light switch self-hypnosis technique. There's instructions on how to do written suggestions. The power minutes are 1 to 4 minute MP3 downloads that you can put on your Droid or your iPhone or whatever MP3 player you have. And then there's the hypnosis suggestions, which are all the hypnosis suggestions that I've used since 2008 in my daily blog posts. So take a look around here at Hypnosis Health Info at the tools and the resources that are available so that you can make that change in your life, creating a desire to eat real food, food that looks like it was dug out of the earth, picked off a plant or a bush or out of a tree, and create that desire, that motivation to go move your body. Our bodies were never meant to sit behind a computer or in front of a television or behind the wheel of a car. We were meant to move. So get out and move, eat healthy, get to a healthy weight, take control of yourself. I'm Roger Moore, and this is Hypnosis Health Info.